Welcome to part 5 of the Andy Frost vocal percussion garage sessions. Today we are going to do the snare drum sound. The snare drum sound has very much become more of a rim click kind of sound, that kind of thing, which is great for some pieces of music, but for me, I like the traditional PF snare drum. Okay, so literally the sound is projected forward. Now, being that I am a drummer as my other profession, I'm used to hitting a drum. So for me, the point of the sound of a drum should be moving forward and not backwards into my mouth. It should be something that's projected forwards. I find for me that works great when I'm in a band working with we three for a start, where we need that snare to be really in the groove and to kind of sound the same every time I do it. And I find that I can do controlling the muscles and I can keep a regular sound. So that's what I'd like to try and teach you today. So what we're going to try and do is literally pretend we're describing an explosion. Simple as that, all right? We don't have to think too hard of what we're actually doing there. We're just going like playing a computer game, watching a film. You know what they're like. If you think of fireworks as well, that kind of thing, if you're going to get your hands and kind of mimic what you're doing, great, all the better, okay? What you'll find is you're probably doing a P and an F. Kind of the best way to get around it, really. And I found that, and this is really why we call it the PF snare. Of course, these things need to be practiced like anything else that we do, and the stronger that we get our lips to make a P and an F very close together, the more convincing we have in terms of our snare drum sound. So let's just start with an explosion, but this time when we do the explosion, we're going to really do it slow motion, okay? After 4, just 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea, okay? So that's a P and an F. This time we're going to make that explosion very, very small, and we make the P and F come together a lot quicker. Whilst doing that, we think about stomach, even if it means sitting up straight, which, to be honest, would be the best way to do any of this, is making sure that your diaphragm and you've got your stomach muscles ready to come through. We'll try this time, short explosion, and think of a snare drum sound at the same time. So we're after, let's try it together, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's kind of what we're after. So it's a P and an F. So even if you want to do explosion after this video, explosion and then a short one. So after 4, we're just going to try and do the short explosion quite slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time, I'm going to show you that you can do slightly different things with it. If you keep the shape of the, you can use a little bit of your nose, which we will talk about in other videos, but just going, just a little bit of a, right? Almost a little tiny hum, at the same time as the P and F. You've also got different types of snare once you get used to this. Okay, they all come from the P and F sound. Best of luck with that. That's something just to practice. On the next one, I'll put that into a groove and talk about how that can work within consistent grooves and how you can get that snare to sound nice and tight. Okay, all the best, stay safe, see you on the next one.